What's up, everybody? As you probably know by now, we received several weapon changes last week. We received nerfs to the AMAX, the Farah, and the Street Sweeper. The Bullfrog was changed, but it wasn't really buffed or nerfed, just changed, for better and for worse. We also received a buff to the PPSH. I don't think the meta is gonna crazy shift since the between now and what it was after the burst meta was finally nerfed. AMAX probably still gonna be king. Probably gonna mostly still see AMAX with a couple different secondaries. But I mean, the AMAX nerf was just a nerf. I don't think the Fair nerf was that big of a nerf. The Street Sweeper nerf. The best part of it was not being ground loot. Still really killer in a building. Not a crazy nerf. None of them were nerfed into the ground. The Bullfrog's just as viable as it was before. Maybe a little better even. And the PPSH still not really that viable. I'm going to give you my 10 loadouts for this point on until we get some more weapon changes. They have mentioned they're continuing to try to raise the TTK and the skill ceiling, but let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, we'll go ahead and start with our number 10 loadout. Our number 10 loadout is our comeback loadout. We have the good old trusty Growl. We have typical monolithic suppressor, Archangel barrel for the really clean iron sights, bullet velocity, all the typical stuff, Commando foregrip, 60 round mags, and usually we'd have the tack laser on a Grail build, but because this is our comeback class for 5th circle, whether we're bought back, when Gulag closes, whatever, we have our fully loaded perk instead, so we can come back with full AR ammo. We have that paired with the Psykov pistol. These things still slap. It's better to use it in single form instead of double form because of the buffs, the nerfs that we got to the Akimbos. Run it with monolithic suppressor, auto barrel, tack laser for that ADS, 80 round drum mag, and normally I would run, what grip is it? I'd run the Prizrak grip for the aim down sight, but because it's a comeback class, we're going to run fully loaded instead. So we got the full SMG ammo, whether it's using a ground loot SMG to pair with this that we grabbed, or using this itself. This is still very viable to use by itself, but then that way we have full SMG ammo. Got it with EOD, Ghost, because they're a comeback class. Amped, then we have Semtex and we have Stuns. Typically, I will run Heartbeat whole game, but if I'm coming back towards the end, everyone's probably got Ghost. There's no point in grabbing a Heartbeat, so I'll grab Stuns to win the final battles, hopefully clutch up the game. Then we're on to our number 9 loadout. This is going to be two old guns for people, but I've seen both popping up a lot more with the recent weapon balancing. We have the M4, Modern Warfare M4, monolithic suppressor, grenadier barrel, tack laser, commando foregrip, 60 round mag. If you don't like the iron sights, I really don't find them too hard to use, but if you don't like them, I'd get rid of the tack laser and come down and grab the VOK 3.0, get rid of the tack laser, and then make sure you have the T-pose. Cleanest reticle for any ACOG, one of the cleanest reticles in the whole game. Second only to probably the blue dot. Then we're going good old classic Modern Warfare MP5, the hipfire machine, monolithic integral suppressor, so we get both the barrel and we get suppressor with the properties of both the barrel and the monolithic suppressor in one attachment. Merc foregrip, 5 milliwatt laser for the hipfire, 45 round mag, and collapsible stock for the hipfire mobility. If you want to change it up a little bit, you could get rid of the collapsible stock and go for the sleight of hand, fast reload, especially for trios and quads. Or you could go ahead and go stipple grip tape for even faster ADS if you're on a hipfire. And if you're on a hipfire, I'd get rid of the 5 mil and go tack laser instead. Same perks. Only difference with this loadout is we got the same lethal, but we have heartbeat. Like I said, I run heartbeat mostly, so we got heartbeat for tactical here. Then we're on to our 8th loadout. This is for your really aggressive, really mobile sniping class. I typically am fairly aggressive, but not crazy aggressive, so I'd rather run kind of AR or something. But this was one of the classes that I really learned to snipe on after I started honing in my skills with a different sniper. But typical car build, monolithic suppressor, 27.6 inch barrel, tack laser, sniper scope. You want to make sure you come in and get the black tie fair one. There's another bundle. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. If I remember, I'll put it in the description. But this has a thinner bezel as opposed to the regular. You can't really tell here, but the side bezel is thinner on the black tire fair. So you want to make sure you use that one if you have it. It was from the Modern Warfare Season 5 Battle Pass, the blueprint. And then I have the Precision Comb. Precision Comb keeps your reticle just about still when you're aiming down sights instead of swaying. If you don't mind holding your breath, go Sport Comb here for the quicker ADS. Other than that, some people come down to perk, get rid of the stock, and then you go Focus for the flinch resistance. I mean, you just don't move holding your breath. Presence of Mind, too, you can hold your breath forever. You don't really mess with rear grips or under barrel too much. And then you pair that with the classic MP7. I've seen sadly they all call it Pocket AR because it really is that. It's got great range and it's still close. It's still danger in the close quarter. You got monolith suppressor, FSS recon barrel, 5mm laser, or you go tac laser, depending on if you hip fire, you ADS a lot. Merc foregrip, 60 round mag. Sorry. If you don't mind handling the recoil yourself, you could change this out for stipple grip tape, quicker ADS, especially if you go tac laser and you really want some ADS, or if you're going to hip fire but want ADS, get rid of Merc foregrip, go stipple grip. Same perks, same lethal, same tactical. For a 7th loadout, I don't do a lot of distance sniping, but if you want to do hold power position, snipe people from a distance, it's the way to go. The way this build has higher bullet velocity than the HDR, a little quicker ADS, and I find it to be a little more mobile, especially with this build. You put on the wrap suppressor, the combat recon barrel, which they buffed the bullet velocity, but actually at the beginning of Season 3, they accidentally nerfed it, so it's just back to where it was. And they reduced the sway, which is huge because the biggest problem with Cold War snipers is the sway back and forth when you're ADS on a target. And since we don't have aiming stability attachments like Modern Warfare, that's a huge buff. Then I went Bruiser Grip, movement speed, and aiming stability. Aiming stability attachments, I know so we don't have any because they don't really do that much. 7-round mag just for a few extra bullets, or 2 extra bullets really, without ADS penalty. If you don't need the 2 extra bullets, go fast mag, especially if you're a little more aggressive, even with a sniper like this. And then I went speed tape for ADS. SRS jungle gives you ADS speed. It says it gives flinch resistance, but it doesn't really do anything. But it takes away sprint to fire time. And then same thing if I have the airborne elastic airborne elastic unlocked. It has penalties as well, so you go speed tape just to get the ADS, no penalties. Because you're not going to do anything with a laser. I don't find any value in a stock for this gun. The only thing, if you don't like having glint, which who likes having glint, but if you really don't want glint, you get rid of the speed tape and you throw on the Royal and cross 4 times. If you don't have all the reticles unlocked, like I don't, you can take the 3 times or the 2 times, swap it out for the speed tape, change the reticle. I'd go with this one typically. If you want to get rid of the shadow bezel that's inside, you can come over, and this one's really clean. I've seen people using this lately, so you don't get that weird jarring shake inside of the scope. But since we're sniping and it's not like tactical rifles, it doesn't really make much of a difference, and I think this is really clean. Love this reticle. You go here, and you can go back to your 4 times, and it'll be there. See, I don't have any of them unlocked, but yet I still got this reticle on there. Pair that with the XM4. They said they nerfed mobility to the ARs. I don't really feel the nerf to this gun. This gun's insane. I've seen a lot of people running it. It's an agency suppressor. Task Force barrel, since we're running this as like an SMG sniper support, it gives us damage range and bullet velocity along with strafe speed, which especially with the nerf they gave, it's really nice to have that added in the barrel. Shouldn't be mounted flashlight, that's a mistake. It should be Tiger Team Spotlight to help with the mobility, 60 round mag, and Raider Pad to help with the mobility. I don't find this recoil hard to control at all. If you do, get rid of the Spotlight, put on good old Field Agent foregrip, and run it like that instead. Same perks, same tactical and lethal. This can be switched out for stuns, just like any. Thermites here. Some people said C4's got a buff. I haven't really played with it, but you can put C4 in any of the lethal slots. On to the 6th loadout, and now we're starting to get into more of my favorite loadouts, really. The other ones are just loadouts that I think will really work, but not typically my favorite loadouts. This is the sniper I said I learned to snipe on. Love the SPR. It's great. It's right in between the car and the HDR and the Tundra. You get a lot of mobility, which I like because I can't stand sitting on top of buildings. You get bullet velocity that's higher than the car. A little less than the Tundra, not a whole lot less than the Tundra, not a whole lot less than the HDR. It's really nice in between if you like to move around. It's not as quick as the it's not as quick as the car, but still pretty quick down sight. A lot of fun to be right in between that aggressive and holding power positions. You can do both with it. A lot easier than you can do aggressive sniping with an HDR, and you have more bullet velocity, so you can hold power positions and kill people farther away than you would with the car. We go monolithic suppressor here, 26-inch barrel, tac laser, sniper scope, normal mags for best bullet velocity. Reticle, make sure you put on the cross thread, and if you have it unlocked, cover shot, both really clean. I need to unlock the cover shot, but it's the reticle for those. I forgot to mention on the car, but I have the same thing on my car as well. Paired that with an iron sights AMAX, thing absolutely shreds in the medium and short range. Monolithic suppressor, Zodiac barrel, commando foregrip, 45 round mag. Since I'm running the iron sights, I threw a tac laser on there for ADS, especially when I'm close quarters. I want to be able to snap right up and start shooting. Don't really want to hip fire with this weapon. If you don't like the iron sights, you can get rid of the tac laser and go Court Hollow sight, or operator reflex isn't bad. PBX hollows, a little chunky, not bad. I'd recommend the monocle reflex here. If you don't want to go Court Hollow, I go Court Hollow. I need to finish unlocking Blue Dot, but I'd put Blue Dot on it if you have it. Otherwise, pick your poison with these reticles. I really probably think this one's not bad. This one's got a little too much coming off the center reticle. This one's pretty clean, but Blue Dot if you got it. Same perks, lethal, tacticals. Now we're getting into my top 5. I learned on the SPR, car's my favorite. Same build as I showed earlier, same exact build, nothing's different. And then Ram secondary. Prefer this over the AMAX. Feeling the Ram a lot lately, you'll see later. Monolithic suppressor, Forge Tac Eclipse. If you're running some main AR, you go Ranger, but you still get damage, range, and bullet velocity. You don't get the recoil control, but you get better ADS than you do with the Ranger, while still maintaining some damage, range, bullet velocity. Your close range, recoil doesn't matter as much, so typically go here, get the little faster ADS. Tac laser, commando foregrip, 50 round mag. Same thing with the AMAX. If you don't like the iron sights, get rid of the tac laser, go with one of those sights. Probably the Corpse Hollow with the Blue Dot would work best if you have the Blue Dot. Blue Dot's a grind that I need to finish. Same perks, same lethal, same tactical. 4. Now, we're going to get all into more ARs, in this case LMG. I sniped for most of the burst meta. Wasn't a fan of the burst meta. Tried to stay away from it for as long as I could. So I'm a little burnt out sniping. So I've been running these 4 classes the most lately. Here we got Stoner, Agency Suppressor. Probably should be Task Force Barrel here. If you're not great with the recoil, I'd probably go Match Grade. Not really going to use that extra range. But if you are insane, or you're cheating, this is probably the barrel to go with if you are going to have trouble with that recoil control. The recoil is not crazy on the Stoner. If you are tired of Berthas, especially if you're in solos, go Cavalry Lancer. Less than a full regular standard mag, and that Bertha is destroyed. I think if you had all your bullets, it's like 50 to 55, and no more Bertha. Then go Susat Multi-Zoom. If you don't like it, go 3 times. Use the second reticle I was showing you on the Tundra, so you get rid of that violent shake, which is really bad on the Stoner. Or, and then we go Serpent Wrap, and I went Field Agent Grip for the recoil. I went a little quicker ADS because I'm always moving around. I don't want to get caught in a bad situation with the wrong gun out and not be able to aim down sight him since you're not going to hip fire this. But if you're a little more passive, get rid of the Serpent Rat and go Fast Mag here since it takes forever to reload. I wouldn't go 120. It comes with 75, which is more than enough. And the reload speed's abysmal, so you probably want the Fast Mag if you're not going to go for ADS. Just like I talked about earlier, I'm not going to go Airborne Elastic because of all the penalties. I don't want sprint fire time plus firing movement speed plus ADS firing move penalties. Because I'm going to use this one a little more passively than a normal AR, I went Serpent Wrap. Sprint fire is not going to be as important, but if you don't want any penalties, go Speed Tape. I paired that with the Bullfrog. Bullfrog's disgusting. Might be the best SMG right now. Doesn't have the fastest time to kill. We'll get into what does in a second. But this is probably my second, maybe third go-to for the two SMGs that are above. Got what SMG I've been running and having the most success with in my number one loadout, but you'll see that. This, we go typical SMG build, Grew Suppressor, or Agency if it's a different gun. Task Force Barrel, Tiger Team Spotlight for movement. I go 65 round mag and skeletal stock. Now, I don't think this gun has much recoil. If you struggle with recoil, I'd probably remove the Tiger Team Spotlight or the 65 round mag. Put the Spetsnaz grip on, which is the Field Agent 4 grip equivalent here. Or if you don't like the iron sights, which I know some people don't, I'd get rid of one of these two attachments and go for the Microflex LED here. Just standard reticle, just a little red dot. If you play mostly solos and duos, this is the attachment I get rid of, is 65 round mag. It's got 50 stock, which is plenty. Not quite enough for trios and quads, so I go 65. You can go 85 here, but you get the ADS penalty. If you're playing aggressive, playing trios and quads, you don't want the ADS penalty when you're going to buildings when this gun relies on headshots. Same perks, lethal, tactical. Now we're moving into top 3 loadouts. The loadouts, if you come watch me on Twitch, you'll see me run the most. We go Krig. Krig's the new old Kilo. Does not move. Laser, less shots to kill than the current Kilo. Easy gun to use at any skill level. Absolute blast. So here we got the Agency Suppressor. We go Ranger Barrel for bullet velocity. You can go mil-spec, but you lose damage range. And since it's your long-range weapon, it's not the greatest. But if you're really aggressive, you might like the strafe speed. But other than that, go Ranger. Get the best bullet velocity. It's what's most important when you're going long range. SUSAT multi-zoom, same thing. Don't like it. Go to the 3x optic. It's got sniper level zoom still. Well, Modern Warfare sniper level zoom. But I really like how the SUSAT gives you like no vertical recoil. This thing looks like it has no recoil when you use that. Then you go Field Agent 4 grip for what recoil it does have. And go 60 round mag. If you don't want ADS, 45 will do just fine, but you might struggle in quads especially. Maybe struggle in trios depending on your shot. So typically go 60 round mag. Not as bad as ADS penalty as the fast mag. Just go standard. Then we have what's in the argument for favorite SMG here. I singing its praises since it was added last season. Before it got its buff. Love this thing. Love to see it getting its shine it wants. Or deserves, sorry. Go here, go Agency Suppressor, Task Force Barrel, typical SMG build. Tiger Team Spotlight for the movement, because once again, this SMG has like no recoil at all. 55 round mag, go 45 if you don't want the ADS penalty, especially if you're really aggressive. But once again, you might run into trouble in quads, especially maybe trios depending on your shot. 52 round fast mag, you get 3 less bullets and an ADS penalty. I'll take the slightly longer reload speed, plus on this blueprint it's reactive, but I don't see the need for the penalty. I don't see the penalties being worth it for 3 less bullets and quicker reload speed. Not worth it. So then I go Raider stock here. If you don't care as much about the movement, my only change would really be get rid of the Tiger Team Spotlight. Go Speed Tape. If you don't like worrying about the recoil, I'd get rid of the Tiger Team Spotlight and go Field Agent 4 grip. And then same perks, lethal, tactical. Number 2 loadout. This is the meta. AMAX is still probably the top dog. Not my favorite. Been frying with it just like everyone else, but not my favorite. You probably know the build by now. Monolithic Suppressor, Zodiac Barrel, Commando 4 grip, 45 round mag, VOK 3x optic with the T-pose. Cleanest reticle for any of the ACOG scopes. And this is the loadout. Nobody's really going to run anything different unless they're just trying to experiment. If you struggle with recoil, the only change here to make, Ranger 4 grip. But I think if you use it enough, you'll get used to the recoil on here. It's not too crazy. It's just really bouncy. It's a lot of vertical more than a lot of visual, sorry, more than it is actual recoil. Same LC10 build as the last one. Agent Suppressor, Task Force, Tiger Team, Raider stock, 55 round mag. Pretty standard LC10. Same perks, lethal, tactical. And then finally, my favorite loadout at the moment, the Ram. Never gave it a chance, finally started using it. Absolutely fries. Beats the AMAX in some spots. I've beaten the AMAX with it. I've seen more of it lately. I'm glad I finally gave it a chance. I'm hoping people don't really, because I really think this is going to take over as the meta. You just got to get used to it goes up and to the left for the recoil instead of up and to the right like most Modern Warfare weapons. Monolith Expressor, we talked about the barrels earlier when we were talking about running as a secondary to the car. But here, since it's our main AR, we want the recoil control for the longer shots and more damage range bullet velocity. We're not using this close range, so we don't care that it's got more of an ADS and movement speed penalty. Then VLK, T-pose, regular, typical, what everyone should be running. Commando foregrip, 50 round mag. Then here, this gun fries. Now, it's not a hipfire machine like the Modern Warfare MP5. It's got more recoil, but it's just straight up vertical recoil. Just pull down on your thumbstick, pull down on your mouse. This gun's got the fastest time to kill of SMGs right now. I run an agency suppressor, task force barrel, field agent foregrip, 50 round drum. There's a 50 round fast mag, but same thing with all fast mags. You get the ADS penalty more than you get 50 round drum. You get the same amount of bullets, so why get the ADS penalty? It doesn't reload super slow, and if you fry with it, you probably just team wiped and you got time to reload. And then Raider stock for movement. Now, I have seen a couple different builds as people have been trying this out. Some people I've seen ditch this barrel. I mean, it's close range, so not as worried about effective damage range, bullet velocity, because this thing really has the fastest TTK for SMGs inside of like 10 meters. So we don't care as much about range and bullet velocity if you're running this. It's really great for rest play. So I've seen people ditch this and then go Tiger Team Spotlight for more movement. It's the only other change I would make. I personally prefer the Task Force over the Tiger Team Spotlight. This gun's got pretty good movement anyways. I do get caught in a longer range fight than 10 meters, so it is nice to have the extra damage range and bullet velocity. But this gun slaps. This gun's insane. If you push buildings, you don't want to run shotguns. This TTK, I think, is 400 milliseconds or a little bit less. Might be just slightly under this. This gun slaps. It's absolutely my favorite. I refuse to run shotguns, so this is my favorite to push buildings right now. Got to barrel stuff a little bit, but that's fine. Same perks, same lethal, same tactical. And those are my 10 loadouts for Season 3 moving forward. Hopefully, I run India, I kill you with my loadouts, you don't kill me with my loadouts. Good luck in Verdansk, keep frying.